Good morning. What's up? VIAF up 97% at highs. Although it's looking like a triple top here for now. Continuation over 7. A little tough right now. And we're a while away from the open. So it's going to have to be pre-market. It's going to have to be now or never. Now or later too could work, but can we break over 7? For the people holding, it's already a good trade. For those of us coming late looking for the breakout, the extra push to 750, $8. Will we see a move here? I think I'll watch the first maybe pull back over the level. The breakthrough might not be worth it as we're hitting 7 and then pulling back to 680, 670. It's coming down a bit here. Our 5-minute candlestick is giving back its progress. I'm only green $100 here pre-market today. Just there's a cheaper stock that came. I didn't really trade that one. Just a few trades, small size. DXF. For those of you tuning in on YouTube, I'm going to give you guys the chat room link. The chat room is open for business. For a limited time, the chat room is open to anyone willing to join here as long as you're looking to be a contributing member. You will be accepted here for a limited time. Just so you guys can see what it's like. As you guys know, I usually end the YouTube live stream pretty early every day. H1 Media, we'd love to see you in the chat room, my good friend. There's the link. We're going to be banning people who are like spam. But other than that, chat room, you guys can check it out. There's the link. I gotta catch up on my DMs today. We need be sure to remember to check out the disclaimer. I can't forget to mention it. We need to mention that M2 Media. That's a good one. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up as you're tuning in and remember our disclaimer. Remember that day trading is risky, all right? Most traders do lose money, so if you're new to the markets, utilize small size, become experienced, competent before increasing your risk. Utilize simulators, practice, improve before increasing your risk. Remember, copy trading does not work. If you're going to just jump in the live stream and say, hey, there's a call out in the live stream, or hey, Relentless Trader is buying, I'm going to try to buy. That's not how it works, right? You have to understand and learn a strategy that works and that is consistent rather than just trying to copy trade somebody in such a fast paced style of trading anyways. If I was here buying Apple, buying a position right now, looking to sell in the next 10 hours, 5 hours, 3 hours, and I have 90% accuracy, then it would make sense for people to attempt to try to do something like that, right? In a field like this where it's so fast paced, it's just too risky. Other than that, and that's just, me being real with the audience there. Other than that, remember to be careful of impersonating accounts, fake accounts. And then lastly, be careful of fake advertisements as well. People are stealing the content and are trying to run ads with it. If you do spot a fake ad, help us in reporting it. I'll go over the disclaimer again closer to 9:25 for the people tuning in later. BIAF, I'd hope it's able to maintain this consolidation because it would be a good stock into the open. It's in a nice price range, similar to SPRC yesterday. After reviewing, man, we were close. You can be very close but far at the same time. But we were pretty close to where we needed to be. We just needed to be a little bit more, what's the word here? We needed to be a little bit more zoomed out of our tape and paying a little bit more attention to some of our other indicators, which could have given us good insight to being in for some of the better trades that came. $100K day can definitely happen, man. If we have the right stock, in terms of just follow through, because we've seen stocks before where they get up to like 50, 60, $80, but they're still moving clean, still giving good setups. I've seen a stock go from 5 to 80 before, and in that whole move, it was just steady. One or two halts only, not just, hey, halting up 5 times in a row and skipping $20 a share, right? But instead, just sweet trading. ELBM. Let me double check on this one. I gotta turn down my volume. There's a high of 145. It's fairly early in the move. There was a bid at 40, but the bid disappeared. It did hold though. And back down to 130. Close to the VWAP. It seems like it's holding up though for now. I mean, it's still pretty early though. There's still 30 minutes to the open for ELBM and BIAF. For those of you who are here early in the YouTube live stream, be sure to hit that thumbs up. Today we're looking forward to breaking the record here with the likes. Also, if we get another stock like SPRC, we're going to also look forward to breaking other records. Because as we know, it's all about mindset. Connecting in the right areas and the right mindset, that alone is what it takes to dominate. And as H1 Media is saying, you never know, right? $100,000 for some people it'll sound pretty ludicrous, but really and truly, it's not that far away. It is not that far away. In strides, right? You start off the day, you build your cushion, strong stock comes along, you get into it, you're connecting, you put a little bit of size. When you're using size, especially, the days start to add up so fast. You look back, you can be up 2, 3K, 5K, 8K, and in just a few trades. So sidelines right now, just waiting for something else. My record so far is 26,000. Although on that day, I should have been up like 60,000. I kind of got soft on size early in the move, like way early in the move. The risk, the reward is on the other side of the risk. But there were lots of days, especially last year, where it's like, if you're putting out, man, like last year, the way how the momentum was, I should have easily made over $1 million, like in my sleep, when I look back at how crazy it was. But it really comes down to putting out that size and being aggressive in those key areas that are working really well. Instead of taking 5K size, I could have been buying 5K blocks and buying 3-4 times. And instead of making 5K in the trade or on the day, that's a 30K day right there, right? But this is talking about taking the exact same entries that were presented, just with more size, because the liquidity was there. Mentally, I was not. So there's always room to be better in some ways, different aspects, technically, mentally, and where you are in terms of like pushing your comfort zone, things like that. But especially for beginner traders, it's important to take it slow first. I don't want anyone who's new thinking, okay, let me just max risk my account. It's not the way to go. There's still a process though, and all of this is a part of the process. As you guys know, I will be here until I'm 96 years old. That's when I plan on retiring from trading once and for all. So I have a few decades to go here. We're still in the infant stages of our grand career. Very ambitious goal to go till 96. I'll have to make sure to maintain a good posture here, eat well, and exercise so that I can be pretty sprung at that tender age. Man, imagine the experience and the willingness to take on risk. 158 highs for ELBM, which is curled back up over the VWAP. What I really like to see in pre-market is aggression. Consecutive green candles on a stock going from like 150 to 5 to 4 to 350 to 250. The slower grinding moves, I don't really love to trade. As I'm here now, I'm going to start compiling the watch list early, being that nothing is really fitting into that groove of what I want to see. So we had BIAF, ELBM. How are the others doing? MRM from, I think that was after hours. Yeah, MRM gave an insane after hours, I tell you. But it wasn't right away though. It came at 3:30 market time. So if you left out that first 10-15 minutes at the close, you would have missed it. Like why, this is what we want to see during the open. Like during the first 30 minutes of the open, similar to like SPRC yesterday, it's typically where we're likely to see these moves, right? For the last like 5 years, pre-market I've also like made a bit comeback over the last 3 years, but typically the first hour of the open is where this type of move usually happens. The last few months, it's been very on and off. We'll have a good day here and then 3 or 4 slow days, but it's almost a little frustrating even to see this type of beautiful move in after hours, I mean, this is lovely. From 170 to 835, just, uptrend. But today, it's not really looking the best here. It's possible we can see a red to green. So for those reasons, I think it's worth keeping on the watch list. But other than that, it is looking a little grim here. I'll pull up the scans for the people now tuning in. Hit that thumbs up. And let's pull on the scans here. The scanners are brought to us by Daytrade Dash. Okay, so you guys can check it out if you want to. The links are down below. Shout out to our good old friend Ross Cameron, if he's listening in here for a brief minute. Ross the boss. You guys know I got good respect for Ross, right? Learn a thing or two from the guy, so you gotta give the credit where the credit is due. Although I still like to say I'm a self-proclaimed trader and learner of the game. But we all will take bits and pieces from different people. Ross is one of those guys who've, been transparent over the years. And so you got to respect that always. Now that I'm done giving him all that credit. Good old RT. Now we can move on here into the watch list. Let's continue. So MRM looking okay for potential red to green. WAI I didn't look at. I'll come back and revisit the daily chart on these stocks for key daily resistance levels. WAI also a pretty aggressive move, although at 4 a.m. and then sold off. 5%, 10% chance of a red to green here, so I'll keep it on the watch list as well. Other than that, I think, what was that, 4 stocks are good enough. Anything else that hits a scan, that's worth it. We can always, at that point, pull it up and, you know, take a look at it from there. Just to make sure it's not too crowded. I still have these Invisaligns in, and so at times I'll be sounding, you know, like I'm not saying certain words properly. There's that, plus my broken English accent, which is always fighting to come out. If I speak with my full accent, nobody would understand what the hell I'm saying here. Trust me, I've tried it in school. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Okay. MRM. Daily chart. Actually, how's the SPY doing real quick? MRM. We got to get back over 530 and daily resistance at 837. 530 and 837. $750 also could be a bit of a level. There are some topping wicks here, although volume on those days were lighter. For MRM. Okay, moving on to the next stock, BIAF, which I didn't look at all here. What time is it? It's 14. Do I want to restart my Thinkorswim? I think I'll restart my Thinkorswim here. The reason why I do this is so that my recents can get rid of all the stocks from yesterday that are not... Yeah, I'm going to do it early enough to do it here. So give me a quick 2 minutes. I'll go back to the disclaimer screen here. And let's go for it. There's probably a way to do this. I got to check. There's probably a way to clear the recents without signing in and out. But if there is, I don't know. Guys, I'm doing a little bit better in terms of having the 24/7 year-round cold. I've been drinking half a lemon and warm water mix, like a full cup. Who would have thought that something that simple would have worked compared to all the medicine I've been drinking that's been doing nothing? For those of you now tuning in, remember the disclaimer. I can finally breathe through both of my nostrils, which is quite remarkable here. Although I didn't drink it today. Probably should take a quick 2-minute break to go through that. We'll do it at 20. But coming back to the charts, we're logged in again here. We're good to go. Let's just make sure. Okay, looks good. So BIAF. $9.23 and then $13.50 for BIAF. There's 13 minutes to the open. Okay, BIAF looks decent. Also one of those stocks that's, you know, if it's continuing, if it's able to hold up all the way till 9:30, there could be something here as well. Okay, moving on. WAI daily chart. WAI. Daily resistance at 925, which was essentially our pre-market high today, I believe. Over 9 and 925, room to 1223. And then $20. Friday. Wild card Friday. Glorious Friday. Sweet Friday. Good Friday. Good Friday? That sounds good. Sounds great. Sounds amazing. Sounds wonderful. A day to make some money. Close out the week strong. Close out the week on a high note. Head into the weekend feeling good. With great enthusiasm to study up for Sunday and then to be ready for Monday again. You know, not so long ago, I used to dread the weekends. You know, weekends are fun, yes, but there was nothing like just, you know, Monday morning again. I'm trying to get my mental and my headspace back into that mindset. It is good to have to break, but as we know, there's nothing like trading, right? We want to do it wherever we can, whenever we can. ELBM daily chart. Macy's. Actually, hold on. Let me take a quick look at Macy's here. Companies like Macy's are looking pretty thin. Is it Amazon or is it just other competitors, right? You can buy clothing from Amazon too. Maybe both. It seems like the companies that are doing really well are the companies that are very, very diverse and not just sticking to one sector. You know, it's like even a company like Home Depot, which I didn't know this, it's like you can go on their website and also buy anything, even if it's like not in their stores, which is a good effort to try to, you know, expand. As we know, Amazon is, of course, the giant right now. Amazon is also Netflix, right? There's Amazon Prime, Amazon Movies, Amazon TV, whatever they call it, Prime Videos. 160 resistance, 172, 200 EMA, 233. 172 and 233 for ELBM. Looks like it's selling off though. Okay, that looks good. Watch list looks good. Today we're streaming only for students in the chat room. Let me share my video here actually. I forgot I disconnected. The Mighty can stream for the entire. I don't know why he's not doing it, honestly. Let me tell him. If he sees the message, he might. For the Gen chat, I should send the. I don't know if he will. He should be. He's not. If he's just streaming for the students today, that's fine as well. No. That if we do that, then why are people, why are students? We can't do that. But we can stream for the chat room every now and again. Are we? Oh, we are. Oh wow, we are. I didn't realize that we are. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, people should be able to join. If not, I'm not sure. The settings might be messed up. We might have to fix the back end. I didn't mean to stream in this channel today, actually. But since I'm already here, we'll give the people a treat. For those of you who are in the chat room. By the way, if you're on YouTube, you can join the chat room. I'll post the link for you guys. I'll post the watch list as well, and we will be ready for the opening bell here. And the time is here, and the time is now. Guys, join the chat room so that you can continue the conversation after the live stream. Also, hit that thumbs up. The chat room is open for a limited time. Yeah, Save trades pre-market all the time, every day. So does Crispy. So does Tim, myself, everyone. Everyone trades pre-market now. As soon as we started, the volume died. I don't know. We're waiting for what it was like again 3 months ago. I might need to cut the chatter here and get my main stocks pulled up and organized. Yeah, let me do my due diligence. I'm going to start the screen recording. Just going to get everything in gear here. And then just make sure we're ready to go. So that into the open, there's no issues. Looks good, looks good. Check, check, check. All right, I'll go to single screen as well, just so I don't forget to take the scanner off. Ross was like, "Hey guys, let's just have the scanner on for maybe 5-10 minutes at a time. Scanner on entire stream, forgetting it on is not good for business. So we gotta stick to the rules here. Stick to good business and good partnerships. So when you guys see Ross at the next team house, don't be surprised, all right? Hopefully he feels so generous that he treats all the boys, his former students, Marcelo and Tim. With 200K day, he can do something very lavish for the entire team. One day, myself and the Mighty will get there. Second string stock, I'm thinking maybe since ELBM sold off, to maybe have MRM pulling back from the VWAP. Let's see, WAI. DVLT and UAI, are those looking any good? I'll save them in my recents here too. Yeah, I'm not sure as a second string stock which one's looking the best, so I'll just rotate over on the other monitor for whatever starts to hit the scans early. There's the 2-minute warning. And I think we're all set here. I'll post the link here and we should be good to go. If you're not in the chat room, this is your chance to be a part of greatness. I will say this is, of course, the best chat room in the world. Oh, there's an offering. MRM, not good. All right, guys, hit the thumbs up and let's get ready to rock and roll here. 1 minute to the open. We got BIAF curling up right on time. Shout out to all of those who are joining the chat. I see you guys. What's up? What's up? Very soon, we're going to send the YouTube stream chat room to the depths. And we're only going to be in the actual chat room. 35 seconds to the open. High of the current candle is 77. The dips are holding up for now. Will they continue to hold? I'm getting a little bit of chop here. Lows are 36 in the current candle. The halt up is at 724 if it's to get over the level. It's definitely pretty volatile. Drop there to about 80. Highs are at 730. It's a big flush out. Lows there 34. Well, that was short-lived. Short-lived. Not the best start to Friday with that halt down. That was out of nowhere too. There's not another obvious second one. Where is the momentum? Sidelines till something else comes up. Waiting patiently on the sidelines. It's pretty early. We're more than likely to see something here pretty soon. Not seeing much else from the others on the watch list. Resumption time, 1 minute 48 seconds. The move was straight down, so there's more than likely going to be a bounce at some point. Will it be right off the resumption or will we dip lower first? Couple seconds, showing sideways. What we'll have to hope is that it does a slow red to green over time and gets back closer to the highs of 7. But still not seeing anything else yet. VIAF not looking so great. Not looking good. Still fighting at the lows though. A pop up, a pop right there, bounce right there. False halt up. The halt is at 76. Will it get locked in? Came to it twice. Watching for the higher low and or retest of the lows here. Halt levels now at 91. Terrible fills, man. That was tough. Selling too soon. Although it didn't quite push. It's moving so fast. 35 to 50 almost instantly right there. So getting the fills that you would want is going to be tough. It's held up a good amount. We're still kind of having trouble. What is it going to be? I don't want to see us below 620 at all if it's the pullback here. Can we hold up the VWAP? Can we hold up the VWAP and continue to attempt the new high over 77 in the high of the range? Seems like it's having some trouble. Can we continue to hold above 630, 620? It's brewing though. It's brewing. It's brewing. I can feel it brewing as long as it doesn't just Titanic sell off. They're 70. Back to 50. Back to 65. It's not quite ripping. We're holding higher now, but we're not quite getting that rip. Still feel like I'm selling some positions a little too soon here. Not quite getting that extra cent or two that I could get. It's halting down. As long as we don't get the big flush, we're going to get the big flush. So 620, 630, not holding. I missed that false halt down. I would have took it. Does it have what it takes to go again? Uh, uh, uh. Oh, oh, I son of a gun. Well, only 28 right there. Is there anything else? It's playing games with us here. It's playing with our emotions. Trying to make us emotional, but we're staying firm despite the bigger drops. What's interesting is that we could have had the equal and opposite reaction, and this red candle here could have been green pushing up. But AQMS, is it any good? Lighter volume. Bro, I was not making money on this thing. I was red 400, man. I should have been able to capture something in this move here. And every dip that I tried, I think I was a little too timid. I needed to be more decisive in getting in on the dips, and I could have done better. But just not throwing out the orders quick enough here, just taking losing trades. And then using this range to finally recover a little bit. We don't start red 400, we're up 500-600 already, and it's looking like a decent day, you know? Instead, we are flat like a pancake. Stock is still holding up lows at 590. Right now, I'm on the sidelines. If it gets back over 620, 630, I'm a little bit more interested again. I do know that there are dip trades here that, the dip traders will be taking, but I don't know. I'm a little bit more reluctant towards those trades. But if it's going from 585 to 610, right? I mean, there's something there. Can't complain. Wait, is AQMS halted up? Oh wow. Well, okay. Is there news on AQMS? I don't usually check, but being that it's a bit of a slower day. They participated in the battery show, North America 2025. Discussing trade policy. Stocks can go up for anything. Oh man. The algos will just buy anything. And then the retail traders will come in. AQMS. Daily chart, not so great, being that we had this massive topping wick pre-market. There could be something here, but I'd go small size. The volume is too light, so I'll just wait. And then if it turns out into a second halt up again or something, then maybe I could consider a trade there, but no need to push it on a stock like that. BIAF, retesting those lows, and this time it's coming down. 555. We don't see breaking news as much after 9:30 anymore. We're seeing it more in pre-market and after hours, which is why the high of day momentum scanner doesn't really shine as much. I mean, a couple of years ago, like right now, high of day something hitting the high of day momentum scanner already, up 50%, 60%, 70%. It would happen like 5, 10 times a day, every day almost. Now it's a gap scan stock, and if you're lucky, maybe something hits the scans. AQST. How's this one looking? Not so good. So AQMS, I'll keep an eye on it. Not really looking for trades here, just keeping an eye. Let's see if the chat room is calling out anything. AQMS too risky, volume too light. Stocks like that, they need to go halt up again, and then people start to become interested. Rip to 739 and halt up again. Hit all the halt scanners. And then maybe, but there's some big sellers. 25,000 at 7 again. That'll kill any sort of push. Oh, 720. But this is just so risky. Like, it takes a half second to go 720 back down to 7. Like how, it's hard to manage risk on a stock like that. I gotta change this thing. I'll do that later. Let's write it down. Guys, I'll catch up on my DMs today again. For those of you on YouTube, you guys can check out the Merciless Markets chat room here. The Relentless trading chat room. The Mighty Stocks trading chat room. The Day Trading Team House chat room. Whatever you want to call it. Chat room is open for you guys to check it out here for a limited time. Chat room is open for free for a limited time. So you guys can see what it's like. We had a conversation behind the scenes, the last time around when I did the trial. It was because so many people mentioned they couldn't afford a chat room. And so we're giving people a chance just to see what it's like. This is why we're number one. The best in the world. Numero uno. For those of you in the chat room, you can also share the link to anyone who you know that's a trading friend. For those of you on YouTube, there's 657 people here. And we have 131 likes. If you guys didn't know, today is my birthday. So be sure to hit that thumbs up for good old RT. AQMS is still fighting, but again, very high risk. Level up, happy birthday, man. Be sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, check out the chat room. AQMS hitting 720 right there again. And back down to 680. Again, just too difficult to manage risk right there. So I'm leaving it alone. Appreciate all the birthday wishes. My birthday only comes 6 times a year. Phil, John, Pete, do appreciate it. Tommy. Jacob, RK, and others. The question is, though, will we get up there to 500 likes? That would make my wish come true here. We're at 200 likes. Shout out to everyone hitting the thumbs up. BIAF struggling. AQMS, which is moving a little too. I can pull that one up on screen. A little too risky for me. Just tough to manage risk here. Come on, guys, hit that thumbs up. The goal is 500 likes. So far, it's a bit of a slow start to the day here. Just being patient on the sidelines and waiting for something else to hit the scans. The last time it was my birthday, one of you guys sent me a PC. How many trades do I take in a day? Right now, about 50. 50 trades. Last year, I averaged volume-wise about 1 million shares. My volume is like a tenth of that, or less, maybe even. Adjusting a little bit here over the last few months. I do think I could trade more though. Some of it is in some areas I'm a little too timid, a little too cautious. Fear is a word I wouldn't use, but caution. AQMS once again. It's gaining more volume. I am liking a little bit more of what I'm seeing now. I'm going to give it a go, watching with smaller size here to start. $47. Break-even trade there, just a couple cents. It's going to hold 60, not bad. Highs are at 65. False breakout there. And there's a seller, 28,000 at 48. Oh. Well, it still has this tendency to drop like that. I'm going to go back on the sidelines. Fooled me once. I don't want to see those type of drops still, man. And that red candle that came at 06. There's no way I want to be risking 40 cents on any given time I'm in this nonsense. Okay, back to flat on the day. Not that we were ever really green to begin with. So, back on the sidelines. it seems like it's just going to continue to trade with this type of range. Notice every red candle that we have, it's like a 50, 60, 70 cent drop or something crazy, at least close to it. 89 to 13, 29 to 63, 59 to 92. And the candle is coming to an end right there too. Bro, if I buy a Lambo, I mean, I wouldn't do that. That's just too crazy, man. I'm but a humble trader here. Buying a Lambo is overdoing it in the building stages of wealth. But in the enjoyment stage, right now it's just small rewards. It doesn't really take a lot for me to feel good. A nice walk in the park. Anything with water, right? At the like at the pier, that type of stuff. The boardwalks. And I'm feeling pretty good. But once I get to the enjoyment stage of wealth, then we can take on some ridiculous purchases. I could definitely fight with this stock, but I don't want to. I'm just gonna keep on the sideline. Yeah, not in my neighborhood, right? As you guys know, I'm in the slums. The slums. That would be such a ridiculous purchase, though. What I'd have to do is buy a sweet, nice mansion and then the Lambo. I was watching this mansion in California, right? In this video last night. This guy's name is Ennis on YouTube. Some of you guys might be familiar with him. They'll do like these super mega mansion tours. 30 million. And I'm thinking to myself, this thing is a one-story, 15,000 square foot house. And it's like, why would I pay 30 million for this? And for perspective, the last house that we were in Arizona, I think was like 9,000, 8,000, I think around 8,000. And it was already so big. What do I need with that type of square footage? And then too, for 30 million, I mean, the house in Arizona was in a great area. And 3 million price tag. So even if you're to double that up and say, hey, 6 million, LA is just ripping people off. Because that the building material for that, probably a couple of million, you know, if you want to throw in a little bit more for, maybe some small detailed things, but to then charge back 30 million is just, there's one thing about spending money and then there's just another thing about being ripped off. Unless you're just really paying maybe for the view. But man, nothing like New York and California to Just rob you blind. Derek, we are going to do Texas at some point, although we don't know when and or where in terms of city. Forty dip, 40 dip. Not holding. At a loss right there. If I was to be trying to take a dip trade. Big Steve, as you mentioned, man, some of these dips are just cooking us. Breakouts only in the key areas with size too if it's connecting. Indeed, brother. Are you trading this one, Steve? AQMS? Are you printing? So right now we are down $90 on the day, just on the sidelines. Talking about mansions because there's nothing to trade. But it's crazy though to see some of the price changes over the last 5 years. Like mansions in like areas where I am. You know, 5 years ago I could literally just go and buy a mansion like with the gains that I have now. I could just walk and go buy a mansion. Now, with 5 years later, jeez, the prices are so crazy. Nothing has changed about this property. In fact, it's depreciated. The roof is 5 years older. The paint is wearing and tearing. You know, it's like this country and like everything that we know is just it's just interesting how it all works. What happens if tomorrow everyone at the same time decides to not pay their mortgage? Nothing would change physically, right? But the system would crash overnight. We'd be cooked. AQMS trying again, pushing up here, 790, 780. Let me see if the Mighty's trading it here. Let me check. Sometimes the Mighty loves these type of bigger range stocks. The Mighty is what's the name? AQMS. The Mighty is red 120 on this one. Not doesn't really look like he's being aggressive on it or anything. Small size maybe. Sometimes some of the guys will work the range. It's risky, but if you're if you're positioning yourself well in the range here, I can definitely see getting in a little lower, getting out high, and kind of ranking and repeating. But the extended flush only. If you get in early on the pullback, then you'll like how I just lost at 30 cents there. Now, with that being said, Big Steve, do I take the next extended flush 5K size and put my money where my mouth is? That's what red to green would say to do. I'll take the next one with infant size. The next massive flush. And it's Nice. Held up 30. Oh, even that right there is so quick. That was too quick. Couldn't get it. But realistically, I'd be in it like 48 to 55. It's not really a great trade for the risk. And what was the high there? Like 64? Is it worth it? Probably not. Being that we could have flushed out another 30 cents still. The Mighty in the living room? Oh, that's the office. The Mighty is dialing in. Locking in those sweet trades. We got to 230 likes. You know, at this rate, I think half the viewers are bots. Is the only explanation. Watching the false halt down. It looks like it'll get locked in though. 84 halting down. And that's also a risk of trying the super extended flush. It's getting caught into this madness. Jerry, appreciate it. B Bala saying he's been in real estate for a while. And what's happening right now is insane. Yeah, Tesla is insane, man. I do appreciate all the birthday wishes. Although the big wish that I had was for us to get to 500 likes. Granted, there's 554 people in here, so we have 54 people to spare. But we're only at 247. Can we do it? Is it possible? This would be the most liked live stream ever if we get up to 500 likes. There are a few people at work. There are a few people maybe jogging in the park, just listening in. But guess what? Jogging is no excuse. No, I'm kidding. Oh, man. Will we get up there? So I'm red on my birthday. Should I make a recap today? Down 95 bucks. Well, I guess technically I'm down $5. I'm green in the other account a little bit. And UAI. Bro, I can't wait to just be making thousands and thousands every day again. I mean, like when you're making this amount, like you just look at your account, your bank accounts, whatever, it's just in the moon, like just in the moon, in the moon. But then you hit a 10, 15, 20K day, you hit a 30K day, something crazy. You look back and before you know it, you know, you're in the sky, sky high. The goal for all of us here, right? to be very consistent traders making hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a day, putting the size behind it. Shout out to a guy like Save, who's very transparent with his trading in the team house. You know, a guy like that making 30K every day. Now there's some real respect right there. By now, he more than likely owns 100 buildings. If I'm to just take a wild guess. If I'm to take just imagine a guy like Ross, right? I mean, Ross is really a good example. Although the money he's making is just Herculean. Do I want to say that? MGN. Like Ross just made 230,000, I think, 2 days ago or something. MGN. Lighter volume. Just imagine 230K hitting your bank account regularly. 30K there, 80K here, 150K here, you know, and hardly taking losses, keeping the risk tight. Man, it's like you'll be able to achieve all your dreams in like 1 month of trading and still pay your taxes comfortably, depending on what type of dreams you have. If you want the private jet and the yacht, then it'll take a couple more months, but it's the beautiful thing about trading is that once you do catch your wind, once you catch your flames, you can really and truly at least position yourself in a place where you have freedom, meaning you have income coming in when you're not working. That is what freedom ultimately is, even if, you know, it's not a ton left over afterwards. You know, a couple of months like that, I mean, you know, you can have some assets that'll bring in some great income. Shout out to all the people that's inspiring us to keep pushing forward, man. Of course, I know that I've inspired a lot of people myself, but I don't really like to talk about myself too much. I'm also looking at others for encouragement, inspiration. Great traders like Crispy Trades, Mighty Stocks, Trading with Tim, all these guys right in the team house are some amazing people, great traders. You know, you have Calamity. Save the Monster. You have the students by extension. You know, I mean, shout out to the students too, man. You know, traders like Lucas, Alice, BMAC, Jackson, and you have people who are coming up too, right? Traders like Zay, Jimmy B, Grandpa John in the chat room, Cactus Rob, also another good trader. People who are you know, it's a great community, man. Then you have the chat room members like Shay, Nikki, Twin, you know, the list goes on. We've met some great people along the way. Guys, I've even had one of my students, I don't know where we can find this video. It's somewhere, but I had one of my students teaching me some MMA even. MMA. MGN halted up a lighter volume. Will it become something? Or is this nothing? Happy to be the next chat room mod. Yeah, definitely. I don't know why they took it off. They should have kept it. The past store will reinforce it. Derek. Shout out to Derek as well. We can do a little grappling down in Texas. Rob, come out to our next team house, man. We'll love to have you there. Although, the only bad thing about the team house, I guess if you want to say bad, for the people who are private, if you're more private, then, it'll be a little bit more tough, of course, being that we'll have like a lot of recording and content. I mean, other than that, you know. By the way, shout out to Vegito. For those of you who remember Vegito in the chat room, and at some point we were like, is this guy even real? Like, he's making 30,000 every day trading some large caps, right? I met Vegito in person twice. Shout out to him. He's pretty cool. I don't know where he is right now, actually. But Vegito, myself, and Crispy, we had lunch. Vegito is a good guy, man. He's like, RT, man. RT, I like your driving, man. Smooth. As Crispy flies past us in his car. Shout out to Vegito, who was also on one of our team. So it could work, right? Vegito was at one of our team houses, and he's more private. He was never in a video. So honestly, once the cameras are out, maybe if you're just positioning yourself, you'll be fine. He was like in his own section trading, and we're all at like the other table. But I remember watching one of Vegito's trades. Vegito is like a madman. There's different levels to this thing, man. As we know, we all know this, but seeing it is always crazy. Seeing it in person is even more crazy. I'm telling you guys, man, once Ross comes to this next team house, I'm literally putting my head over his shoulders. I'm not even moving. I'm just staying there, skipping that day, and I'm just watching the pre-market. The open, whatever, but pre-market, sometimes when you see this stuff with your own eyes, it's even more inspiring. Vegito was in a crazy trade, man. Like, he was down in a trade before it red to green, and it's like, man, like, I would not be able to hold. But I guess it comes down to strategy, right? That, it's well within his risk. He's watching the trade, and he's pretty red in the trade, but it hasn't stopped him out, Trade comes back up, reds to green, and turns out to be a great trade, and it's like, man, wow. This is madness. Beat a Story is a pretty cool guy too, man. Shout out to Beat a Story. If you guys ever meet Beat a Story in person, anywhere, solid guy. Beat a Story is like, these, honestly, if we're ever doing anything, and because we could always go a little bigger, sometimes you don't want the group to be too massive, but honestly, we could do like 15 people. I think that's pretty cool to do. Even if it means sometimes splitting into two tables, at certain restaurants, things like that. As long as the internet can accommodate. BIAF halting up. Holy shit, I'm talking too much here. Well, it's below VWAP still. BIAF. Are we going to see a heroic red to green here, or is this just a bluff? Because I'd like to think short sellers are still in control here. MGN, resumption. MGN, $6. Halted at 605. It might halt up again. Oh, I'm in the wrong account. Shoots. Dang it. That would have been a nice 25-cent trade. My limit order was too tight, so I didn't even get filled in the other account either. For MGN, down there at 680. The halt is now at 652. It is skipping up here. It definitely is volatile. MGN halting up again, false halt. It's a little bit more volatile. There are opportunities, but the risk is there. BIAF resumption in 2 minutes time. Yeah, it's showing 650. And there's a minute. It'll probably be a 10-minute halt, but let's see. MGM false halt. So MGM and BIAF are the two right now. Watching for the pullback trade here. The dip and rip. The rip, the dip, and the rip again. MGN locked in at 694. This will probably be a 10-minute halt, but watching for resumption here in the next 16 seconds, just in case. We're at 614. BIAF, what will it be? Here we go. And it is 10 minutes. Bills have been paid for charcoal in the chat room. Looking for the sweet and luscious nip and rip. We got 3 minutes, 20 seconds to resumption. Two minutes, 50 seconds. Honestly, it looks pretty good. Hopefully, we can hold up on the pullback. And hopefully, there is a pullback in the first place. If we can see the pullback and hold, that's the key right there. If it just goes straight up, that's where, for me, it's going to be tough to get in on the resumption trade. No fear, no hesitation. Taking what the stock gives and leaving nothing behind. AKA not over trading to get a haircut. I can feel the green. Right now is where we have to manifest. Barbecue chicken coming up on the menu with the sweet sauce. With the sweet sauce. That, or it could be a dangerous fish bone waiting to get stuck in your throat. So manage risk accordingly. I honestly don't mind using size here either, depending on how the first second or two goes. But it depends, though. It depends on how the first second or two goes once it resumes, and you know what it does immediately. Thirty seconds. This is where we take a deep breath and get ready to win and also manage risk. All right, all right. 10 seconds. Here we go. Can we get a dip? Can we get a dip? Ooh, I'm out early. There's a seller at 7. It's going to halt up. Dang, bro, I'm out early. Over 55, not this the lightning speed I'm used to. So, you know, taking the 10 cents. Jeez, Louis, if I held that trade, guys, I would have made 50 cents, which would have been 18 hundo. Or no. What's the math? Like 16 hundo. 16 hundo. Instead, I'm out with 400 bucks. Massive difference. Man. Also the dip, it didn't really, like, we didn't really dip. It was like a 10-cent pullback, which, you know, big shout out to Big Steve, by the way, because we spoke about these trades last night during our individual study sessions. Oh, man. So we resumed at like 40.50, and it didn't really pull back. Typically is where I'd say it's holding high, and I just buy. But the risk in just taking 650 entry is that if it does in that next 2 seconds pull back, you will take the brunt of the loss. Astor sizing down for the next resumption. As the stock gets more expensive, the risk is going to increase. The good news is that we are at the pre-market highs, and our next daily resistance is at 923. No one can read the future. The questions are right now, will we keep going? 1. 2, if not, are we going to pull back, and where's the pullback going to be after the next resumption? These are the important questions, because sometimes you'll get 2, 3 halts up in a row. Other times, you know, you'll start to see more candlesticks, and you'll get that massive flush. Being that we went from 565, the number one thing for me right now is to not try aggressively to get the bottom. I need to just let it go. Let this thing flush out whenever the time comes. And then once it's priced in the low, even if it takes after 1 or 2 attempts down there, in terms of like the stock holding up twice, then, because if I'm trying to get that bottom early and then it's just another 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 cent down, cooked. So I'm going to avoid the dip trades here if it starts to like base out for the pullback. Avoid the flush at all costs. If not, you will be cooked. Where's the mighty? Oh, I forgot about MGN. Holy smokes, it gave a good dip and rip too. Shoots. Dang. Well, a little too distracted. We got 20 seconds for BIAF. I got slightly smaller size. We're halted at 7:04. Watching and waiting. Five seconds. False halt down. Oh, okay, good. Get me out. Get me out. It still looks pretty bullish, being that we're above the VWAP, but it depends. False halt again. Over 50, I like. Adding. Can we see over 7? My ad was so damn high though, bro. And I should have held the other one a little bit longer. Watching. It is back down. Shit, bro. Damn, this thing just teleports down. Alright, let's not catch the falling knife here. Short-lived, perhaps? Jeez Louise, man. Why did I take the dip? I already told myself to not get the haircut. Gave back $100 at the top. MGM, I missed the resumption, but you know, all green candles. Definitely be careful of backside there. When it does turn around, it might be Christmas tree. And we have 2 topping wicks, which we haven't had yet on the stock, so definitely want to be careful looking at that one. Oh, man. What I needed was that first dip and rip, man. That first dip and rip had the opportunity to send me to the moon, but mission not quite where we would have wanted to be, but we'll take the green and smile into the weekend. Smiling into the sunset. Smiling into the sunset. With resumption trades, the moves are usually very fast and very decisive. You know, my brain for this strategy is like, you know, it's everything is quick. It's supposed to be quick and instant. There's a small hesitation through 50, and I'm like, man. I think that might do it for the day. We'd love to see a stock like this go all the way to 10 and 15, but you know, the pre-market high was still resistance. We didn't quite open above that level, and so yeah, it could give a red to green, but I don't know. We'll see. It's on to something. It's on to something. It needs to hold 620 though. Damn, bro, look at that freaking fill. Come on. Do not cook me. Oh my gosh, not great trading here. Freaking terrible. And it's back down. Okay, let me leave before I go red here, man. 300 bucks. And then the 100 bucks in the other account. We will take. All right, I think that's it. Is that the day? I got a ton of DMs I got to catch up on. Shout out to everyone who's joined the chat room. I see you guys. What's up? What's up? Welcome to all the new members. I'm going to post the link again. Guys, don't forget the chat room is open for free for a limited time. So you guys can check it out, see what's up, see what's going on. As long as you're respectful and trading and showing, you know, call out, talking about trading, keeping it cool, respectful. You know, we have no issues here for this limited time. But if anybody comes in there and tries to spam, we're going to, you know, send them to the depths. I'll post the link here, and then this is where the conversation will continue until probably 12 a.m. tonight, honestly. Because there's some people in the chat, they'll trade after hours, and then the conversation probably keeps going. All right, here's the link. There's 500 people here. I expect to see 500 people in the chat room. All right. Free to join. Don't forget. So if you want to continue the conversation with the team. All right, guys. Take care. Stay safe. Stay green. We're ending small green here today. Up 300 bucks. If we held that trade a little longer, we would have made closer to 1700 in the trade, but we're out a little early. But green is good. We're going to smile. We're going to shut it down. All right, take care, guys. What was our light goal? 500. Where did we get to? We got to 296. Not quite 500, but I guess we'll take it. All right, hit the thumbs up. Catch you guys later.